Well, back in October of 1879, a couple of seedy strangers hit town and began making the rounds along Whiskey Row. After tipping a few, they started drawing attention to themselves while playing billiards in the Jackson and Tompkins Saloon. A fatal mistake, as it turned out. A local, Colonel W.H.H. McCall, recognized one of the men named Wilson as someone who was wanted in Texas for the murder of 2 lawmen. He confronted the men, and Wilson and his sidekick John Tallows began to push and threaten McCall. Bad form. Colonel McCall left and had a warrant issued for their arrest. Well, soon Wilson and Tallows headed outside and started shooting at a dog, drawing even more attention to themselves. Constable Frank Murray attempted to take the duo into custody, but they weren't having any part of that. They mounted up and rode off, shooting as they went up Whiskey Row. Murray looked for some help and spotted U.S. Marshal William W. Standifer and County Sheriff Ed Bowers talking to Virgil Earp. Standifer and McCall commandeered a buggy after quickly deputizing Virgil as part of the posse. They all took after the bad guys, with Virgil holding his trusty Winchester rifle. He proceeded on foot. Well, pretty soon Wilson and Tallows found themselves cornered and were desperately firing in all directions. Virgil had taken a position where he could see both men and proceeded to ventilate the 2 bad guys, scoring lethal shots against both. After it was over, Tallows lay dead with 8 holes and some buckshot hits. Wilson was mortally wounded with a hole in his head and a cigarette held loosely between his lips. He died a few days later. Well, this event helped secure Virgil the coveted position of U.S. Deputy Marshal in Prescott, Arizona. The appointment was soon amended to cover Tombstone as well, and the rest, as they say, is history. An interesting postscript to this story is that sometime in 1875, Wilson had a run-in with Wyatt Earp in Wichita, Kansas, when Wyatt tracked him down and made him pay for a wagon he had purchased. The moral of this story might be, don't mess with the Earps.